Hi and welcome to yet another hangout for Channels Beam. Channels Beam is a social media powered program on Channels Television, Africa's best television station. This lovely afternoon we're broadcasting in Lagos and we're discussing developments in the rescue and search for 234 schoolgirls abducted by members of the Boko Haram sect in Chibok, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. This afternoon, I'm being joined by several Nigerians across different countries in the world. I have Ilewo calling from Ojota in Lagos. I have John, who's calling from Cranfield in London. I have Godi. Godi's calling from Prague, Czech Republic. We also have others on the Hangout. I'll introduce them much later. Hi, Simon. Thank you for joining the Hangout. Simon, can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, but you need to face the light because we can't see your face. Thank you for joining the Hangout. I'll come back to you. All right, so on the 14th of April, over 200 girls were abducted in a government school in Chibok, Borno State, and up until this very moment, these girls are yet to be found. A few of those girls initially abducted managed to escape, but majority of these girls, 234, is what the number says at this moment, and these girls are yet to be found, believed to be in the den of the Boko Haram sect, and some of them are reportedly married off already. Some reported, well, the leader of the Boko Haram sect, Abu Shekau, has threatened to sell some of these girls, and all these things are some of the developments we're going to be discussing on this hangout. But more importantly, we have to know that between last week when we first discussed this issue and this week, the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag on Twitter has garnered support from every corner of the earth, from Mrs. Barack Obama, everyone, Mrs. Michelle Obama, I beg your pardon, every corner of the earth has heard of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. Different groups, so civil society groups, concerned individuals all over campaigning and supporting this mission, and everyone is calling on different governments of the world, not just the Nigerian government, to help bring back these girls. Within the last 1 week, Nigerian government has confirmed that governments of China, USA, and UK have, offered their support, which they have graciously accepted. So these are some of the things we're going to be discussing on this hangout. And I'll start off with you, John. Last week you weren't on the hangout, but we have you this week. So I want to get your thoughts, your general thoughts on this whole issue, the abduction, the call for rescue. What are your thoughts?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John. This is my first time. I didn't get the bell though. It's a very, very sad situation that happened that day. Seriously, I don't know what to think. With all the news coming out again in Nigeria, it's conflicting questions going on there. I really don't know what to think. I have a lot of questions I would like to ask myself. I'd like answers for the questions I'm asking. It's sad. I'm hoping that with the help from the international body, the girls will be released alive, hopefully. And if there's any conspiracy or any hidden truth, I'm hoping to come to light at the end of all this. I'm glad it has gone globally. It has gone global and it's now viral. So it's not going to be a case of let's say Senator Ibe's case of hiding or putting an incident under the rug. I'm watching this and we'll see where it gets to.
All right, thank you, John. Godi, what are your thoughts on this issue? Hello, Godi, I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, I was on mute. Okay, sorry. So good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on the Hangout again. Regarding this issue, I think that it's really sad. It's sad and pathetic at the same time that we are facing with this type of issue, and it's kind of a bit surprising that at this moment we are still like, it seems like, oh, we just woke up to realize that we are facing a crisis in our hands. There has been the warning sign ever since that something like this, that we would get to this situation. And in our usual style, if something doesn't affect us, we say, oh, well, consign us. But now we really see that this country cannot move forward if something is not done properly. Uh, I don't want to be going and saying how our politicians are behaving, but because actually they are the root cause of this whole issue. Because how is it possible, or how in any sense society, that 14 days after such an incident, that it is now that the government is trying to realize that there is actually a crisis that it needs to deal with. And more scandalous is the fact that a presidential committee is being set up to actually to investigate and find out the number of people who are missing, or the number of girls who are missing, and those who have been um, or who were able to escape from their uh, adopters. It's really sick to hear, and you begin to wonder, why are we setting up a presidential committee? Is that the most effective means to actually tackle this situation or this crisis we have on our hands? What are the security agencies doing? Does it mean that the DSS, the and the what with this SSS, the military, they really do not have not been able to give a definite number, or accurate number, or an estimated number. WAEC is saying that they actually they were supposed to have an exam. So how many people were registered in this place that they were going to go to school? Why can't we actually have simple things correctly done? It is because of the negligence of duty, and actually pursuing things which are really not so important, in the name of trying to play politics, that we have neglected the simplest of tasks. For example, how is it possible that a city like Abuja, that government has not been able to put up CCTV camera everywhere, and people are not able to go about knowing that security, even if you don't have police on foot or soldiers on foot, that somebody is somewhere watching the streets for you, and you can actually track down crisis or crimes like this. So these are the things that are actually bordering on us as a nation. We have not actually embarrassed ourselves in the eye of the world. People are saying a lot of things that, oh, actually this must be some kind of scam, because really, are there some girls missing? How would girls who can how many how would you carry 100 or 200 people without nobody seeing the bus leave? Were they transported on foot, on camel, or on truck, or something like that? But we really know that at some point the executives of those areas have said that the the militants, what they do have, or the terrorists, what they do have as a weapon, are more than what the soldiers do have. And me, if I am a soldier and you actually say to me I should go and fight someone who has a superior weapon, I mean, I think I'm actually going to be wanting to shield back, because I don't want to die quickly for no reason, for a country that actually would not recognize my effort, would actually would be quick to move on, would not, even my family for the rest of their life would be struggling to get a compensation, or whatever that was due to me. So these are the things that we actually, it's really a holistic approach that we need in this. But it's good that the United States are actually offering their help. They are sending some foot soldiers, as well as some technology, as we have been reading. So I hope that this actually would help, to see if they can get to the roots of this issue. Let them free the girls. This is the most important thing. If they are going to fight, let them fight. But I have sisters, and it would be sad that someone would actually be having this feeling that he's losing someone in this way. This is my take on this. We'll talk more. I would raise some points more as the discussion goes on. But
Right.
yeah.
Thank you, Godi. We have Simon on the Hangout. Hi, Simon.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
All right, thank you for joining the Hangout.
Can
Now,
you hear me?
the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag has gone viral. Probably the most viral thing that has ever come out of Nigeria, perhaps. What is your take on, how wide the hashtag has spread? How wide this campaign has gone. What can you say?
Okay. Is that to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Uh, I think this is the tipping point. If you recall, this is not the first time that this thing happened. It happened in February when the Boko Haram member went to a school in Yobe State and killed about 59 boys. And you remember that many people have been killed, about 1,500 people have been killed this year alone. I think people are tired, people are fed up, and the kidnapping of the about 300 girls was a tipping point, the boiling point, and people are saying this should not be allowed to continue. Uh, I think that's the main thing, and also because people realize that it took the government officials so many weeks before they could become serious about this. People feel they were not really interested. People feel abandoned, and people felt that the government was not capable of protecting them. So this is like the tipping point. People believe they've been abandoned, and something needs to happen. That's why you see it all over everywhere in the world. You see it in the social media. You see it. People are protesting in London right now. There's a protest going on at the Nigeria House. So to sum it up, I think it's the tipping point, the summary of all the frustration and all the killing, the bombing, and the gun attack that are taking place over the past few years, few months, and recently over the past 3 weeks.
All right, thank you so much, Simon. I'll get back to you on a lot more issues concerning the missing girls. We have new callers. Hi, Inamuna. I hope I got that correctly. Hello. I can't hear you, Mona. I think I'll just call you Mona for short. Mona, I can't hear you. Check if your mic isn't muted. Oh, we lost Mona. Okay, so I have Ilewo. Ilewo, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Ilewo, can you hear me? Okay, so moving on. Ifeanyi.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining the Hangout, Ifeanyi.
thank you.
Where are you calling from? Good afternoon.
I'm calling from BI Lagos.
BI in Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for joining the Hangout. Now we're discussing new developments as regarding the abduction of over 200 girls in Chibok, Borno State. Now we've said a few things. Some of the people on the Hangout have said a few things, but I want to quickly point out something President Goodluck Jonathan said at the ongoing World Economic Forum on Africa yesterday. So he condemned the abduction again, but something interesting he said was the issue of the missing girls will be the beginning of the end of terror in Nigeria. What is your take on this?
First of all, I think this is not the first time we've heard something like that, and seen him say something of that nature before. And I wonder why it has to take this long for us to start seeing this thing as a serious issue. You know. And I strongly believe that now that it has become an international issue, it's going to be given that seriousness that it deserves. Because I mean, it just doesn't make any sense really that we have to wait this long before we look at these things as something that should be treated as serious as it is. You know. So, well, we are watching. You know, the whole world is watching now. You know, and we're hoping that in things to come, we're going to start seeing results. You know.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
very much. We have a new caller, Lua Toby Aderemi. Hello, Lua Toby, can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. Please sort out issues of your audio and I'll get back to you. Now, Simon, I'll come back to you again. Same question on President's comments that the issue of missing girls will be the beginning of the end of terror. And you know, you may want to agree with him based on the fact that the whole world, like never before, you know, is talking about Nigeria and offering support to Nigeria to help find the girls as well as bring an end to the Boko Haram insurgency. What is your take on this?
Yes, I think the problem Nigerians have now is that they don't know what to believe anymore. You know, this government officials have lied since the beginning of this crisis. When the girls were rescued, they gave a lower figure. They said that there were only 100 girls. A few days after, they said there were 150 girls or so. They said that they rescued the girl, and then they said they didn't rescue the girl. The truth is this: people have lost hope and faith in this government. People don't believe them. People don't trust them. The same government officials said after the Nyanya bomb attack, they said that they were on top of the situation, and that was the end. The bomb attack in Abuja took place on the 14th of April, and a week after, just recently, at the same place where 75 people died, about 19 people died. The girls were kidnapped. The girls were kidnapped in Borno State, and the government vowed that it won't happen again. And that same Borno State recently, the Boko Haram members still went and kidnapped more girls. I think the bottom line is people have lost faith in this government. People have lost faith in everything that they say. They've lost credibility, and people don't trust them anymore. People feel abandoned. People feel more secure when they hear that the US, the UK, and other foreign governments are sending teams or experts to the country to try to assist the government in trying to tackle Boko Haram issue. So that's the bottom line. If you ask anybody, do you believe what the president says? Is it the end of the terrorism? Nobody believes anybody in the government circle anymore because of too many lies and because of their attitude. People feel they've not been serious, that they've been focused on the 2015 election, and this is like a distraction to them. I mean, the president wants to be campaigning. A lot of ministers want to go back to their state. A lot of governors who want to come back to, who wants to go for the 2015 election, wants to start campaigning. The election is in February, and this is already May. And according to the law, candidates should emerge at least 90 days before the election. So this is like a distraction to them, and that's why they didn't show much seriousness when the girls were kidnapped. And that's the reason why Nigerians are so happy, are so angry rather. They are angry because they realize that these people are more interested in the 2015 election. They are more interested in their personal gain than the security and the safety of ordinary Nigerians who will eventually vote for them.
Okay, Simon, still on you. Let's even this out a little bit. Now, Nigeria is a growing economy. Although we are now Africa's largest economy, we cannot deny that, there's some challenges that we're working through. Our security system is not as it should be. So many other things are not as they should be. And if you look at it, Nigeria is one of the few African countries battling with, such an equipped and sophisticated terrorist group such as the Boko Haram. Now, we're not like the US, we're not like all these other big economies and big countries who have probably been battling terrorism for a while, and even before then, they already had sophisticated security in place, CCTV is not their issue, electricity is not their issue. So Nigeria is like a baby quote and unquote, battling with a big man's problem. So don't you think, that it is normal that the Nigerian government will be a little wobbly in trying to tackle security?
Yeah, I couldn't hear the last part of your question. Please repeat.
Okay, I said, if you
Their
consider the fact that
communication issues.
Nigeria is, young in a lot of respect, development, security, we're still growing, we're still battling the issues. So don't you see terrorism, the kind that we're dealing with, as an adult problem compared to Nigeria, relatively growing?
No, it is not an adult problem. There's terrorism everywhere, even in the US. What people are saying is the information gathering mechanism has failed. They are saying that the SSA, the GMI, and other intelligence agencies, including the National Intelligence Agency, have not been up to task, and they failed. And we are trying to do what we were supposed to do first. We are trying to do it last. People feel the best way to tackle terrorism is to have a good information or intelligence gathering mechanism. And that one, we don't have it. And you are saying that we are like a baby. The SSS is there, the GMI is there, the NIA is there. They are all there. But people are saying that they are not doing anything. So if you are like a baby, we are not going to tackle it. Look, the CCTV camera that you're talking about, they are nowhere. And you're aware of the report that was published recently. That a lot of money was invested into it to have a lot of CCTV in Abuja, but that the money was diverted to other means. So those things that are supposed to be there are not there. And we are not really babies. I just came back from Dubai. In 1971, they were still a desert. And with their oil money, they were able to develop infrastructure, have everything. They have everything. They have good road infrastructure. They have metro. They have everything that a developed country should have. We don't need to have 100 years, you know. And they've done all those things in 40 years. And with the oil money, I came back here and I saw a chaotic place. And I believe that if we are serious, if the government is willing, if those in government are ready to turn things around, I believe that they can do those things in less than 5 years, in less than 10 years. So they realize that government officials are more interested in their personal gain, in corruption, in embezzling money than to invest in infrastructure, in intelligence gathering, even in the army and other infrastructure that the country needs. So I believe that yes, we are not the US, yes, we are not Israel, we are not other developed countries, but we are not doing anything to even begin to be like them. We are not investing in infrastructure. We have money to buy CCTV camera. We are not buying them. We are not training our security forces, or those who are trained, they are not even being put to use. There's a lot of division in the army, a lot of tribalism. People who are loyal to their tribe, sometimes loyal to their religion, than being loyal to the country. A lot of traitors, a lot of things going on, and people feel, the mess has gone up, has gone on for too long, and it's like we've not even started where we are supposed to start.
Thank you, Simon. Ilewo, I'm going to take you up on some of the things Simon said. Now, he mentioned division, even in the military, in some of our security agencies. He mentioned that some people are loyal to their tribes than to the country. Some of these issues, and you begin to think, so and you must also consider the fact that President Goodluck Jonathan said at the presidential media chat a few days back that he confirmed, saying that the Boko Haram insurgents have penetrated the government, in its entirety. When you begin to consider all these things, how do we make progress? What's the way out?
Well, like I always believe, the buck stops at the president's table, and whatever is happening in the military today can be blamed on him. Now, issue is he's got enormous power with him, and like he confirmed during the chat, he said that he's using 40% of the power bestowed to him Nigerians will start complaining. Now we are not asking him to start brutalizing anybody. You're just asking him to take responsibility of what is happening. The military today is divided, and it's simple. The money that's been allocated to them to work is being stolen. Not only that, even money that ought to be allocated to them is not being allocated to them. And so you have a lot of problems. People are divided. The same problem you have in Nigerian structure, you have in Nigeria, the same problem you have in the military. Everybody is from their tribe. Everybody will believe. People believe they are Yorubas before they are Nigerians. Instead of it to be the other way around. Now we are copying the American system of democracy. If you won't say an American today who will tell you he's a Californian or he's from Texas. They will all tell you they are Americans before they can now tell you where they're living. Now I hope that the current constitutional conference that is holding will be able to address some of these issues so that Nigerian problem can be solved. Now, if you can get some of these issues solved, it will help us in the military. Because one, the Nigerians believe that in what we call state of origin, I believe we can do more than that. We can move to what I call state of residency. If we can begin to identify based on the state we live, I guess that will help us much. And that is why states like Rivers and of course Sokoto, they've abandoned this issue of state of origin. Now, if you attend your university and all that, and you reside there, you're treated like one of them. Now, if we can get these basic things, if we can get them, it will help also in the military. But leaving all of that aside, the Nigerian presidency, if you can work on corruption and work on some of these other issues, it will help a long way in bringing this Boko Haram stuff to an end. Don't forget when Colonel Salisu was killed, a very vibrant military officer. When he was killed, he was ambushed by the Boko Haram men, and of course, they didn't have enough ammunition to face these guys. Now, imagine $20 billion, that has been stolen. Imagine if that was channeled into the military, it could have bought a lot of hardware and equipment for them. Not only that, Okukwe said something just yesterday when speaking with CNN. He said they've been spending a lot of money on the military, but they have not been training them. Now, whose fault is that? Is it the fault of the citizen or the fault of the presidency? So I think the buck stops at the president's table, and he should look for a way to get these things sorted out. Nigerians are confused. We're looking up to the presidency for leadership, and we are getting none. And that is why the protests are still continuing till now.
All right, thank you, Leo. Cody, you have something to say about this? Cody, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm mute again. Okay, I want to take the issues, the comments from the president bit by bit. Now, on the Workers' Day celebration or the May Day celebration, the president made this, emphatic and speech that should make us excited about being Nigerians, and are not understanding or not knowing that actually he's kind of ridiculing the whole issue when he said that our problem is not poverty, and that Nigerians, that are one of the top 10 countries that you have private jets, and also that well, what are some of those points again? That that we have the largest economy in Africa now, and all this and all that, and that for that we are not a poor country. Then you begin to understand that it makes you wonder that the president really write this speech by himself, or did he get it from the people who are surrounding him? Because these are the same type of sentiments that we have been getting in the last 4 years, that we are a well enough to do country, and everything is fine, everything is rosy, this is the best government that we have ever had in the history of our country. And you ask, how did the president measure the fact that Nigeria, we are not a poor country? The fact that we actually own private jets, that Nigerians went to Kenya and they appeared, or they arrived with 7 private jets. So that meant that the Kenyans, it made a lot of headlines in Kenya. So we actually the big boys. We have this mentality, and it goes down to each of us, that we think, that somebody, if you have something flashy, that it makes you a very okay person, that you are actually supposed to be good, if you have something flashy. And that is why we always go for a lifestyle that is beyond our means. It has put a lot of our young people into trouble. And that mindset is what we take to government. If people having private jets, who are the people that are having private? How many industrialists are part of those billionaires that have private jets in Nigeria? Are they not the politicians? Are they not the people who actually embezzle the money from the oil subsidy? Actually, it's interesting to note that the number of private jets that came into Nigeria arrived after this crisis or in the last 4 years, which means that it is under this government that people have actually been able to acquire this luxury toy. Now, that putting that aside, then going to the presidential media chart, he did make some, funny statements that actually, well, if we had $20 billion, America would know, and it's their money or what is it? And this actually kind of like, okay, what is our president trying to say to us? That the fact that $20 billion was, or was it really not stolen, or if it was stolen, that the world will know, really? So the America will be busy just checking everywhere where there is somebody putting money, and forgetting that there are many ways that people can steal money. It doesn't have to come in one go. And this is something that happened between an 18-month period. So it could be that how many millions of dollars have been moved between that period. Now, it shows that the body language and the cynicism they put towards this issue of corruption is not really helping the situation. It's not helping the youth or the governed to have faith in the government. And then he went on to say that regarding the Boko Haram, that his ministers and the people cannot really go there, because if they go there, they will kill them. So it means that actually we are already surrendering, or the government is already surrendering to the terrorists before even taking an action. So you wonder, if the presidency, the leadership of the country is coming up with this type of sentiment, how are the people that are supposed to take action or supposed to take orders from them supposed to behave? If the Oga at the top says, well, my people cannot go there, maybe we will be killed. Okay, now me want go there. This type of thing, when you don't actually want to take the first step in trying to find a solution. So it shows that actually our people are not really, or our leaders are not really getting it right. And it is because of this attitude. We have always felt or thought that throwing money at issues is the way to go about it. Well, now money them want. This type of mentality, well, now money you go chop. And yeah, actually, it chops money. Then the issue remains there, because the people believe that now money you go chop. So bring the money, and then the issue would remain there. We never get to the root of issues. Simple things are the most difficult things for us to solve. And the world is looking at Nigeria. We brag, oh, we are the giant of Africa. We are the giant of Africa. Really? What makes us a giant of Africa? The fact that I have in my village, that I have a wall-to-wall fence with a house, and if I come out with my cars and security agencies, and people will like go, hey, oh guy, and our boys they holo. So that should make me happy that I am the giant of Africa. And when I know that in the next door neighbor, before that, I cannot go out of my house if I don't have a convoy of those security men, we actually should be ashamed of ourselves in certain things. And it shows that because the level of orientation and knowledge that permeates the society has been so poor, it has gone up to the level of the leadership that it's so hard for anything positive to come out of it. Now we are looking at 2015. Yeah, everybody is busy. All the politicians, they are all fighting and wanting to be there, because they believe that the most effective means of employment or resource is being in government, close to government. When you get too close to government, you can be allocated oil wells, you can do whatever you want. You have all manner of, the money thrown at you. So this is the only way. So because of that, everybody is going to, yeah.
No, just wrap up your point so that we can take other comments.
Okay, so my point is that we are in this state we are not because of the last 4 years, but because of the last years of absolute neglect and I don't care attitude. And someone did say that we try to we are too tribalistic, which is very true. we are not behaving, we are not actually buying the idea that we are Nigerians. We more prefer to say I am from, I'm Yoruba man than I'm an Hausa man, or than I'm a Nigerian. So we actually begin to think about how we behave and or how we individually can try to change that mindset. Because even if we change the government today, seriously, I doubt that anything different will come in terms of mentality and approach toward issues will come from the people who will come, because the whole society is being, with this mindset of not be me start the problem, not be me go finish them. I don't know if
All
you
right.
understand this thing, and we hear this very often from our people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Claudie. That was a lengthy one, Joe. Come back to you again. Now, I mean, we're going to look at two major issues before this hangout is over. Um, One we cannot but mention is conspiracy theories. Everyone has been talking about it here and there. You have some people doubting that these girls are actually missing. And, one begins to wonder if the whole world and America is supporting a cause like this. Don't you think if the girls weren't missing, America will know? Anyways, Simon, I will take your comment on this, or you may want to prepare, but I want to take John first. John, conspiracy theories. I mean, what can you say about these? Hello, John. John, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, great. So I can hear you now.
I mute the stuff. So there are a lot of questions people are putting up online that one stumble on. And questions like the one the WAEC said that they asked the governor not to open the school wasn't safe, and the governor still went on. There's been no response from the government of that state regarding this. How the ladies the escapees could be contradicting themselves. The first escapee said they came with a bus. The second one said they came with a truck. The other one said they spent 2 hours walking. And people are asking questions. And like me, I like to read through questions. I'm still expecting a good statement from the government of that state to come out and say yes, indeed. Why people told us to do this? Why people told us to do that? And people are also asking why is it that the kidnappers didn't take the principal's daughter? My own question is, where are the fathers to these girls? My own question again is how the they kidnapped 200 or something, and the school said they had 500. What happened to the other 300 students that were in the school? Why are they not asking questions? Where are the accounts of the boys that were in the school? Where are the accounts of the teachers that were in the school? Why are people avoiding these questions? I would like to know what's happening. Why haven't the governor opened a committee to find out where these girls are? Today I read on Ireland on one other site saying one other side saying that people in Castina are protesting the students, the foreign people from coming. They're saying they shouldn't allow the foreign troops to come in. Why are they protesting against the foreign troops in Castina? Who is sponsoring those protests? Who are the people claiming to be the mothers of these girls? Where are the pictures of these girls? It's 3 weeks already. 3 weeks. Where I noticed, like today, I showed you a picture of 2 foreign military men and an African and an African, and people are spreading it around saying it's the Americans have saved the day. Who's bringing up all this information? Where are they coming from? And how if the Northern leaders are saying they have a link with Boko Haram, how is that possible? Why did they have links the same week it happened? Why did they have to take 3 weeks? There are many questions I would like answers for. I think the girls were kidnapped. I think so. They were taken. There's a possibility, but this question should never have come up in the first place. If indeed it happened. And my other problem was, why is it that the Americans were quick to come in Not that I'm against them coming. Why are they quick to come in without asking these questions? Because usually they ask questions like this on CNN and other stations. Why are they quick to jump into this situation and come in without asking these questions?
All right, John, lots of questions
I'm sorry if I went too
and
much.
some answers that he wants to give you.
John, I must correct this impression from you. First of all, the Americans are not quick to jump in. It is more than 3 weeks these girls have been abducted now, and they're just coming in, so they are not quick. Now, having said that, we must understand the fact that information dissemination in this process has been so whacked. We don't hear any update, we don't hear anything. And of course, the question now shouldn't even be, are these girls adopted or not? Because I know Asari Dokubo and of course the woman that calls herself the president to our patient Jonathan has actually doubted the fact that these girls are adopted. And the moment we still begin to argue not, the more hard it is for us to find them. And so the point now is we should look for a way to get these girls. We shouldn't even be doubting. Now, these girls were adopted. It is the truth. Now, don't forget that before now, it has always been the style of Boko Haram to adopt young girls. Don't forget when in February thereabout, when they went to another boys' school and killed close to 40 boys, some girls were adopted. We didn't say anything about that. Before now, just on Monday, I heard that 11 girls were abducted again. So, and of course, we have read several stories about these girls being kidnapped, about women being kidnapped and all that. And of course, they use them for sex slave. So I think the issue for us now is to look for a way to bring these girls out. People keep saying it's a hoax. People keep saying they were adopted, but I want to tell you that it is a lie. These girls were adopted, and we should look for a way to bring them back as soon as possible. This is what Boko Haram wants for us. They want us to be discussing if they were abducted or not. Why they keep raping these girls daily? Why they keep marrying them forcefully to terrorists? So I want to believe that we shouldn't even be asking questions right now if they are adopted or not. We should be pressing on the presidency, and of course every nation that needs to help us to bring these girls back safe and alive. It's extremely important. Now sorry, please let me quickly make this point too. The information, the way we've been hearing information about these girls has been so poor. If you're to be in the US or in other advanced countries, daily you get news updates or you get press briefing. We all know how it happened when a plane went missing in Malaysia. You know, daily government officials come out to here in Nigeria. We don't have any of that. So I think the government, if they want to reduce the way rumors are being spread that the US are already around, they're arresting people, or there was a video that was circulated that was stoned to death in Somalia, and people say it was one of the girls that was abducted in. If they want to reduce that, then they should give us a daily press briefing about what is happening in Borno. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ilio. Now I'm going to Simon, who has also been, who has been keeping himself updated on this issue. Simon, now there's this argument: is the abduction real or is it not? Politicians coming out to say they doubt it. I mean, don't you think that this issue is being politicized just as other issues in the country? And I also want you to speak about the conspiracy theories that you've heard.
Okay, I think the first thing that I should say is that the information has been mismanaged, and the information was mismanaged because of the situation on ground. Now, I'm planning a trip to Maiduguri, but there are no commercial flights to Maiduguri as we speak. Arik Air is no more going there. Nobody is going there. Now, how do you get to Maiduguri? You need to take a flight to Yola, for instance, and from Yola you go to Maiduguri by road. And sometimes they stop bus and they slaughter everybody on board. Everybody is scared. All the journalists are scared. Media houses don't want to endanger the lives of journalists. Now, you can go through Cameroon. How do you get there through Cameroon? On the Nigerian side of the border is Borno State. On the Cameroonian side of the border, you have Kuseri, Marwa, and Garwa. Now, those places are like 800 kilometers away from Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon. And only on Monday, Boko Haram went to a station in Cameroon to free one of their members that was arrested and slaughtered a police officer and then injured other people. I was with the Cameroonian TV station before I came on air, and so those things are happening. Even there, they are scared. Now, because of that, because people don't have access to that place. Right now, I'm speaking to you from Lagos. Is 1,578 kilometers to Borno State, and but if you get to Maiduguri, Chibok is about 130 kilometers from there. How do you get to Chibok from Maiduguri? You get there with by road, and everybody is scared because there's insecurity everywhere. So journalists have not been able to really go there to talk to people. That's the first thing. The second point I'm trying to make is when the issue started in 2009 and they killed about 1,000 Boko Haram members, I went to railway terminals where Muhammad Yusuf, the leader of Boko Haram, used to live. And when I got to the place, I went to a place. I went to a place where you have churches. You know, in the north, the way they build churches, they don't. They have churches almost in the same place. When Christians move to a state, they try to have their churches in one place. So I went to Jerusalem. That place is called Jerusalem, not very far from Terminus Railway, where Muhammad Yusuf used to live. When you get to that place, when I got to that place, I saw the burned churches as far as I could see, my eyes could see, the burned churches everywhere. I tried to talk to pastors who escaped. A lot of them could not even come out to talk to me. Some of them talked to me through the window. Even me, I could not even stay there for long. I was on a bike and conducting interview. And those things happen in a fraction of a second. They can kill you anytime. They can hijack a bus. So I think the information management is due to the fact that the place is not safe for the media to go there. It's not secure. If you follow the media very well, how the coverage of the Boko Haram versus the military incident, you realize that often the defense headquarters will issue a statement that we had gun battle with Boko Haram members, we killed 30 of them. And so news agency of Nigeria and other agencies or news media, we report that statement. Nobody is there to even verify those things. It depends on those people. Everybody is scared. So if you go to Maiduguri, I have a friend whose husband is at the base. He said that one of the strength of Boko Haram is that one, they are ready to die. Two, they come in great number. Some of them they come like 500. And the day they attacked the station, the Air Force in Maiduguri, they came like about 500 of them. And when you hear Allah Akbar, then they start shooting everywhere. So you have those issues. Journalists and independent news agencies or news organizations have not been able to go to that place to really have the real information, to talk to the parents, to even identify them in the first place. If you remember, it was when the first lady wanted to address the first lady, she invited them to Abuja. She didn't go there. You know, she wanted them to come to Abuja because it's not safe to go there. So if it's not safe for the first lady, it's not safe for the president. Even the president has not gone there. I mean, to the place. I stand to be corrected. Maybe he went there recently and I didn't pay attention. But even the president has not gone to that school. So you realize that everybody is scared. Journalists are scared. Parents are scared. People are running away from the place. And identifying those people is difficult. I believe that those girls have been kidnapped. And I believe that they are being held somewhere. I don't believe that someone is lying. I just believe that the information is not getting fast enough because of those challenges that I just mentioned.
All right, Simon, I'll ask you one more thing, and this is very vital to this conversation. Now, lots of people say what Boko Haram wants is attention. They want to be recognized. They want their evil deeds to be well publicized. And now some say, you know what, it seems like they're getting what they want. The whole world is talking about Bring Back Our Girls, and by extension, the whole world is talking about Boko Haram. So some say, you know what, the media should just blank them out and not give them the attention they seem to be seeking. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, the first thing I will say is that in 2009, when I went to Terminus Railway, where you have the camp of Mohammed Yusuf, the leader of Boko Haram, When you get to that place, it's so big. It's as big as the K2 where I'm calling from. And I was wondering, as I was going around the place, and the place was so big, and I was wondering, how could these people, how were they allowed to operate here, preaching hatred, and how were they allowed to operate here freely? The media were not interested, journalists were not interested, the government was not interested, the government of Borno State at that time was not interested. I believe, I'm not sure, I don't have all the facts, nobody really has all the facts, but I believe that when the Boko Haram started for political reason in Borno State, and then maybe the thing has escalated beyond the control of the people who might have sponsored them or allowed them to exist, especially in that place. Because when you get to that camp, it's very big. It's not a small house where terrorists are hiding. It's a camp. They were in the open. People could see them. People knew these are Boko Haram members. Them, he was later assassinated, and people attributed it to Muhammad Yusuf and his men. He was assassinated, and he was one of the most famous preachers then. I remember when I got to the north, everybody talked about him. So, what should the media do if they kill 300 people? About 300 people, like it happened on Monday between the Cameroonian and the Nigerian border. Should people not report it? If Boko Haram members storm a school and kidnap more than 200 girls, and 3 weeks after those girls, their whereabouts are unknown, should the media not report it? If the leader of Boko Haram says in a video that he wants to sell them to slavery, should the media not report it? I think the problem here is not with the media. We will continue to do our job. The media will continue to do their job as with the little resources and the little the little way they can, the safest way they can. Because I won't be a journalist, I won't report about Boko Haram, but I don't want to die. I want their life. There's no story is really worth your life. So I don't believe that the fault lies with the media. I believe that it's been difficult, it's been challenging, even for the soldiers. If you're a journalist and you don't have gun, and you hear that Boko Haram members went to SSS headquarters in Abuja and clashed with the SSS people, or you hear that Boko Haram member went to the Air Force in Maiduguri, where you have maximum security, and stormed the place, bombed the place, and destroyed aircraft and killed so many people. He's not a journalist who doesn't have a gun, who doesn't have all the protection, all the security men around, who will say, okay, let me go to Chibok, 130 kilometers from Maiduguri. I think we've done the best that we could. And in fact, I give kudos to the media. I know some of those things have not received the attention this incident is receiving. When 59 boys were killed in an all boys school in the north recent in February, it was reported. We reported it. Even Reuters, AP reported it. People don't do anything. We in the media sometimes we feel the it's like people have become used to bad news to the extent that when you even report about bad news, it becomes like it's the same thing. I mean, they kill people today, they kill them tomorrow, and people go on with their life, maybe because of poverty. Poverty is too much, hopelessness, and people are struggling with so many issues. There's no life, there's no job, there are no job, there's nothing. So people are focused on those things. And so they don't even have money to even buy the newspaper. A lot of newspapers are collapsing, and because people cannot buy them. Is it because newspapers are not saying the truth? No, newspapers try to say the truth as much as they can with the little resources that they have. But I don't think the fault is with the media. I think
All
that
right.
it's been challenging. It's been challenging.
Thank you so much, Simon. Okay, so we're moving on now, and Godi, I know you have one or two things to say, but we're going to be moving on from all that
I
international
would,
assistance that
I
Nigeria
would like
has been able to get for
I,
for the issue. So sorry, Godi. So really, America, US, China, they have promised to support, and mm, you still hear some people saying or what is going to be, what is in it for them. Some people are allegedly protesting, the can you say about this?
Before I go there, I just want to say, hello,
Please go
hello.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Just want to say one or two things. Um, when I go online and I see the way our people comment, especially people who are not from the north, we actually are killing or going to destroy our country. It's the way we are projecting or perceiving our northern friends and brothers, because I do have friends who are northerners. We are beginning to build the sentiment around anyone who is a northerner, and by trying to classify them or as potential terrorists. This is the mindset that the world, or this is the thing that actually we are facing in the world today, that after September 11, a lot of people, a lot of countries began to view people who are of Arab origin as a potential terrorist, and we see the consequence, how it is around the world, that it has not helped. We should really be careful, because if you read a lot of comments about people who disagree with the northerners because of the president is from the south, are beginning to potentially, building this sentiment around the fact that anyone who is of a northern origin is a potential terrorist. We should try and learn not to go that far. Again, this is brings to the next point, where a lot of people have said that it's all these things are happening because they want to sabotage the presidency, because he is northerner, he's a southerner and stuff like that, and that is why everything is happening. And I ask myself, if this is true, and the president did say once in his speech that he has some people who have infiltrated his government, and he knows this, and he is the C in C, and he has been firing and hiring security chiefs all these years, and he is not able to take a bold step to eradicate them. If he really believes in this, then it says a lot about the leadership of the country. Because you cannot tell me that if I am the commander in the chief and I feel that some people are sabotaging me, no matter how highly placed you are, no matter how many billions you think you have in your account, and I have the government, I have I am the chief security officer and a commander in chief, I will do everything to make sure that I root them out and set example. Heads will roll, and it's because these things is not happening, and then people are whooping up the sentiment that it is all propaganda, it is all against, because of that the president is in the south and minority. That is why all these things are happening. All this for me is what I call total rubbish and uneducated sentiments. Now, on the part of the contributions from the people who are coming from US and China and Britain and stuff like that, it's a welcome development. We have to trade with caution, and why I'm saying this is we know what has happened in other countries where there has been similar things, like we our government, and knowing the ineptitude and in of our leaders, I fear if really we would be able to manage the opportunity that can come out of this effectively. Because if they are offering us assistance, we should actually evaluate. Okay, somebody say, what is in for them? Yeah, maybe we don't know. These are the things that we are not going to be privy to. But I believe that if they are offering assistance, we should actually explore other opportunities. If I was the one making the decisions, I would use this opportunity and say, okay, here are my security personnel, and you guys are coming over there. What do you think that we are not doing properly, that you guys think that you can help us grow our defense or security system? We have money, we have oil, we can buy the technology, we can buy everything. If we buy all those things that are not enough, what is it that we are missing, that we are not doing? Can you really help us to invest in our security development, so that we will be properly positioned to deal with this issue? Let them think of the fact, let the government think of the fact that Nigeria, with our population and the position in Africa, that we should be a kind of role model or father figure for the rest of African countries. We shouldn't be jumping on the plane and sending of our troops. We should jumping on the plane and going to Mali, Somalia, and stuff like that very quickly when we are not even able to deal with, what I might think that is a simple issue as this. Because Boko Haram, okay, they say how many members do they have? What is their network? Well, how do they do? I think that if we are able to, use the security or situation which we face now, the president has said that this will be the beginning of the end for them. I wonder what actually he has on mind when he said that. But I think that after all these years of making speeches and stuff like that, they should desist from making unwarranted promises. They should desist from making, comments that will give false hopes. Before they say things, they should actually be sure that they have the strategic plans to make sure that such actions or such things will not happen again. We now are focusing and channeling all the issues in the northern part of the country to solve the crisis. Are they actually have some people who are actually studying the situation and thinking that now it is happening in the north? What if it breaks out in the south or east or in the west? What are we going to do? Are they studying anything out of it to say, okay, let us build a strategic plan that we would use to mitigate such actions? Americans actually, when they capture a criminal, or in some countries, when they capture a criminal, they don't shoot the person dead. They find out how the person learned the trade. If somebody was going and using technology to rob bank, before they actually kill the person, they find out what he did and they actually explore these opportunities and stuff like that. But in our own case, bam, catch the person, kill him, even before he gets to the police station, without actually knowing what it is that you can use to mitigate these issues. My battery is going down, so I might actually be going back to my desk.
All right, Cody, thank you so much. John, I'm coming to you now. I mean, we're actually of the hangout. We're wrapping up the hangout now. John, hi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, so quickly and very quickly, I want your comments on, the foreign assistance that we're getting. Some they hope Nigeria is not going to be turned into another Iraq or Afghanistan. What are your thoughts on this? Very quickly.
Quickly, I agree with Godi, with literally everything he said about the foreign assistance. I actually wish that we take the good side of it, we learn from them, but we should be very, very careful. So we don't fall victim like everybody suspects to turn us to another Iraq case. But I agree with Godi. There are many other things I don't agree with, but I think I don't have time to speak on. I would really love to debate with Godi and
okay, we can actually continue this conversation either on the Hangout page. You will see where the Hangout is, so you can always drop your comments, or you can, like I said earlier, follow at. You can also head to our Facebook page. So on our Facebook page, there's a post with the link to this Hangout, so you can just drop. So on a final note, Simon, I mean, there's something I would like to point out: the fact that they've had different parts of Nigeria. You've had protests in Ibadan, in Ilorin, in Abuja, in Lagos, and protests, such wide, nationwide protests. If I remember correctly, was Occupy Nigeria. Didn't end on a good note for some people. There were victims, but so far we haven't heard of any victim in any of. What can I mean? I think that is commendable, but that's my opinion. What is your take on this?
Yeah, I think that if you talk to ordinary people on the street, if you talk to ordinary Nigerians on the street, or even on social media, you say that they prefer the security operative, the army, the policemen. They should go to their strength against Boko Haram and armed robbers instead of brutalizing Nigeria. I think I commend those who are staging protests everywhere, I believe that people feel the time has come for them to have a voice. Nobody is saying that the president should end terrorism today. What people are saying is we need that you are really serious about this. We need to see that you really want this to end. We need to see that you are not interested in the 2015 election. You have the right to contest. We want someone who shows that yes, I'm the head of state. I'm the commander in chief in this country, and I'm in charge. And the box up on my table, and I'm ready to defend you, to protect you. I'm ready to come to your aid. I think that's what people are protesting, and I commend it. I also commend the security, the police for not engaging in unnecessary violence or attack on innocent protesters because they understand why the people are so angry, and they also understand that it is in our interest to raise as much awareness as we can so that other countries can come to our rescue and help us with intelligence gathering because that's what we've been lacking. We don't like placement, we don't like someone who shows that yes, I'm the head of state.
Hello,
Yeah,
Simon. That's as much as we can take
the way they
on
communicate. Thank you.
on. All right, thank you, Simon. That's as much as we can take on this hangout. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone who watched. That's it on this hangout. Let's continue this conversation on Twitter, or you can tweet at me at Oluwamayawa, OH Luamayawa. Thank you very much. My name is Mayawa.